Hey guys, how you doing? So in this one, we want to proceed to get level 1 built and established, and we want to start to get it ready to the point where we can modify our code to recognize when we're out of bounds and then get ourselves ready for the microbit controllers. So what I'm going to do is I've been kind of messing around with this learning myself. I'm far from perfect, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and things like that. So um, I think we've got it kind of figured out here. So what we want to do when this program learns, you're going to see over here, I'm going to click back and forth in this video because I've got my sample code of things over here. So I'm going to probably reference this back and forth. So um, the very first thing that we want to do here in this code is we want to get some things set up here. So if we just kind of break this down, and let's just start with our sprite down here that just has the label um, that shows the micromaze name, and you can see that we're actually missing a control event here. So what I want to do is under events, that when the green arrow is clicked, we want it to show. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go to look, and we're going to show it so that when we start this program, it should say welcome to micromaze, which we have there. So that part is good and important. So we've got those things there. The next thing that we want to do is on our start, you can see that we got some different coding options here that we didn't have in the previous video. So what we're going to do here in this particular code is we're going to get some things triggered here. So in our code, when we switch over to our start block now, this is what we had before, that when it was clicked, it's going to send a broadcast start and then it's going to disappear. So when we were running that before, it just disappears. But what we want to do now is start to create some code where it triggers to our next level. So we're going to set, once it's clicked, we're going to make sure that our level number is set to 1. And then we're also going to send out another message called start. So we've got that there already, but we want to drop down here to our variables, and we're going to make a variable just like we had over here called, you can call it whatever. We're just going to call it level number here. And what we want to do then is we want to set, once it's clicked, to level 1. And so what this will do then is when we click the sprite start, it's going to change the variable to 1. It's going to broadcast start, and then it's going to hide. And that's actually then going to trigger our very first level. So now we've got that established, as we can see here. The next thing here is we want to click over here on the stage, and we want to be able to get a couple things ready to go here. So what I've done is if I go over here to the stage, you can see that we currently don't have any code. So we want to be able to drop these blocks over. So the first one here, all right, we want to make sure everything is set up the way we want, because as we play the game and we get to different levels, the different screens are going to look different. So what we want to do here is we're going to drop over here to our controls, to our events, and when it starts, you can see here that what we want to do is we want to switch the backdrop to this first start screen. So we're going to go here to purple, and we're going to switch wherever we are at to the start screen. That's what I have labeled. If I go over here to my backdrops here, okay, that's what this one is. It's just all black right there. And so we want to get it back to that particular screen. Okay, so we've got that. And then I added sound. You don't have to do sound. It's not necessary, but what I want to do is I do want to add this in. And the way that we can change the sounds in Scratch 3.0 is I can go down here. I could upload my own files. I could do surprise. Let's just do surprise. Let's just make it a unique one. And there we go. And we got a computer beep. So let's see what it does here. Perfect. So we got the computer beep right there. And now our next step here as you can see then, we need to add these blocks. When I receive, okay, the start, we're going to switch to backdrop, and we're going to get rocking and rolling here. So under this control, or under events, when I receive start, we're going to switch the backdrop to the level number. So we're going to go here, switch the backdrop, and then we're going to drop in our variable, which is right there. So we've got that. All right, so now what we got to do before we can test to see if this actually works, we need to create a backdrop. So we're going to go here to these backdrops, and we're going to paint a new one. So something that I learned in doing this here, remember we got to do a couple things. One, down here we got to get this convert to bitmap. And then we want to fill this, we want to keep this the same color. So in the previous video, we were at 100, 100, and black. And we're just going to go ahead and fill this in. There we go. And the next thing we want to do is where we have the start, we want to make sure that our start and our first level is the same area, because that's where our mouse pointer is going to be. And if we don't have that area in the same area to start, at least this first level, we're automatically going to lose. So what I like to do is, especially when we're using a microbit controller, I want to make it really easy to get people comfortable with the actual controls. So I'm just going to make this all white, just like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this whole bottom half white here to begin. That makes it pretty safe. All right, and now what I want to do is I'm going to go and I could paint a line, but I'm going to make this first one very, very simple. So what I'm actually going to do is just draw a simple rectangle, all white, to help the player learn how to go straight up. And then I'm going to add a red square at the end. And I'm going to remember that's 0, 100, 100. And we're just going to fill the top of this. This is super easy level. We're going to add a rectangle right here. Maybe we got to go over a little bit here. There we go. And then I'm just going to drag this guy over. I'm going to shrink him down a little bit. Right about there. Perfect. Now, the last couple things we got to do is we got to label this one, and something that I learned in a tutorial video, I'll put the links in there to get credit because I didn't come up with this on my own, is we have to make sure that our level, our costume number, is the same as the level here. So essentially what's going to happen is our start screen is actually going to be the last. This is going to be really important that our 1 here aligns with our costume 1. So now, if we go here and we run our program, here's our beginning opening screen. I click start. It's going to take us to our first level, in which we simply just want to get to the red square. Nothing's going to happen yet. We can see level number 1, but now our next step, our next video is going to be if we touch the black, it kicks us out and sends us back to level 1. So this is just to get us going here as we start to design some different levels, and they're going to be much more challenging as we go through. But with that microbit, helping people understand the accelerometer, our first couple levels are going to be really, really easy. So there's that. Now let's get into what happens if you go out of bounds.